Welcome to the session 2 of Jumpstart to AngularJS app development for Office 365 and end-to-end testing using Protractor. In the last session, we built an AngularJS app on Office 365, and in this session, we are going to see how to do an end-to-end testing using Protractor on the same app which we developed in the last session. Most of the modern web application uses client-side for code execution. So it is very important for this JavaScript application to be running in most of the modern browsers, and also testing helps us to improve the reusability of the code and to keep it very clean as a part of continuous improvement. Protractor and Karma are some of the most famous JavaScript testing frameworks, and we can also do server-side testing for to execute the load test for the database applications. These frameworks uses Selenium or Phantom.js JavaScript engines to communicate with the browsers. Test cases for these frameworks can be written in Jasmine, Mocha or QUnit. Though we have wide range of tools for testing JavaScript applications, we can use only specific tools for particular scenarios. In the scenarios where we need testing of page loads and to do an end-to-end testing, we use Protractor. The main advantage of the Protractor is we can do a full integration testing through any remote URL. You don't need to have any of these testing resources on the server. In cases of doing unit testing, we can use Karma. The main difference between Karma and Protractor is you need to keep all the testing resources inside the server to do a Karma testing. We are not going to see about this in this session. This session we are going to stick with Protractor. We can also utilize Visual Studio Test Professionals to do load testing on the database sources. What is Jasmine? Jasmine is an automated testing framework for JavaScript. Jasmine helps you to write test cases for testing the JavaScript applications. Any front-end application have web pages which consist of few DOM elements, and this DOM element is used to trigger various processes inside the web application. So it could be a button click or it could be a document load. All these actions are related to a particular processes. Jasmine helps to write methods or functionalities to deal with this DOM element. So the bottom line is Jasmine will provide methods and functionalities to deal with the DOM elements. What you are seeing here is a typical Jasmine specification of a test case. So there are three main pieces in this specification. You can see describe, it and expect. The describe defines the functional block of the test case which should be executed, and it describes the what is the specification which needs to be texted, and expect defines what should be the expected results out of this test case. We can access each element in the DOM using various classes provided by Jasmine. Some of them are you can access any element by using the class name or using CSS or by ID or using the link, and we can manipulate the DOM element using the various functionalities such as clear, send keys, click, get location, etc. What is Protractor? Protractor is an end-to-end testing framework exclusive for AngularJS application. It is developed by Google, and it is one of the recommended testing framework for AngularJS application. One of the main feature of protractor is this allows you to target testing on remote AngularJS sites. No longer we need to have the test files on the server which is being tested, which is in the case of karma testing. Protractor is built on top of WebDriver.js and Selenium server. We can use Jasmine or Mocha to write the test cases. How Protractor works. Basically, Protractor runs on the Node.js server and it have WebDriver.js. This WebDriver API converts the test cases and pass it to the Selenium server, and Selenium server interprets and compiles all these test cases to JSON, and it drives the browser, and browser executes the test case and provides with the pass or fail results. This Selenium server have a WebDriver for all kind of browsers such as IE, Chrome or Firefox. These WebDrivers drives the end user's browser based on the JSON input received from the Selenium server. So the installation of Protractor is pretty simple, which I am anyway going to show it in a demo. First step is to install the Node.js server on the Windows machine. The Node.js is free tool you can install in any OS, Windows or Mac. Once you have Node.js installed, create a Node.js project in Visual Studio, and Node.js server have something called Node Package Manager, which is similar to NuGet, which is used to get all the open source libraries and install it to your project. Now do npm install protractor to install protractor, and do node modules WebDriver manager update to update the WebDriver to the latest version. We are going to see the steps in the demo. Once you have the Node.js project set up, you need to specify few configuration details in the project. First, you need to provide the Selenium server configuration, where your specification test files are located, and which browser you are targeting to run the test case, and which URL you are testing, and the Jasmine node configuration if you are using Jasmine test cases. This is an example configuration file. Here we have the browser settings, which browser we are targeting at, and what is the specification file which is going to use, and the Jasmine node configuration. After configuring the Node.js configuration settings, since you have the configuration ready, you can execute the project by simply running the JavaScript. Before moving on to the demo, I would like to point out some of the resources available online to get more details on testing JavaScript applications. This particular session explains how to use Jasmine for writing test cases, and this video explains how to do an end-to-end testing using Protractor.